And then last night, one of my students came home having enjoyed a full Thanksgiving dinner at another homestay house. She said the other homestay mom wanted to practice a whole Thanksgiving dinner, so she had a big feast. And maybe you'll practice a new dish, or maybe you won't, like me, because in my house on Thanksgiving, it's always a chemistry experience. An experiment, too. This morning, I wanted to share with you a practice that does not involve getting dishes dirty. It doesn't involve going shopping. It doesn't involve having to clean up or spending hours in the kitchen. You can save those practices for Turkey Day. You only have to do that once. This morning, I'd like to offer you a spiritual practice. I don't know where I first heard about it, but I think it works for me. So I want to share it with you this morning. It's a spiritual preparation for Thanksgiving. And we begin this practice by taking a deep breath. And knowing gratitude not only as something that is polite and kind, but as a creation of energy. That gratitude creates an energy that affects not only the person who is giving gratitude, but everybody in the energy field. Do you know that? Don't we know that? I mean, when you have that feeling of gratitude going inside you and you say something to somebody else, it kind of shifts things, doesn't it? You know, thank you for the beautiful music. Doesn't that make you feel good when you say that to Cerny? Thank you for what?
For saying that.
Yeah, you're welcome. I feel so much better now. Thank you. So anyway, we change the energy field around us. And you know, Charles Fillmore, one of our co-founders of the Unity Movement, knew this in the 1800s. Here's what he said. Metaphysicians have discovered that words that express thanks, gratitude, and praise release energies of mind and soul, and their use is usually followed by effects so pronounced that they are quickly identified with the words that provoke them. So we become that state of gratitude, right? And everybody around us becomes that. And then one of our Unity saints, some of you have seen videos of dear Eric Butterworth. He wrote this: a grateful heart will always attract to itself in one way or another, through human hands or through wonder-working ways, the great things needed to solve the particular situation. It is an outworking you can stake your life on. I want to introduce you to another resource, if you haven't heard of this one. It's called the Institute of Heart Math. Just the way it sounds, Heart Math. And their mission, their vision, what they're all about is helping us to become stress-free, to manage our stress. And the way that we do that, the way that we look at stress, is that they teach a practice of coherence, where you're getting your mind and your body and your spirit all connected so you feel this loving, grateful, groovy vibe. Wouldn't you like to live like that? A groovy vibe from Heart Math. So here's what they tell us about gratitude. This is what happens. Instead of having your body, fighting and having different experience in this part of your body and this part of your body, from this part, that you get everything in alignment. And when that happens, when you practice coherence and gratitude, it creates biochemical changes in your body. Biochemical changes. You know that. You're shaking your head. Favorable changes in the body's biochemistry includes improved hormonal balance, an increase in production of DHEA, the anti-aging hormone. What do you say to that? Increased positivity is another benefit. Daily gratitude exercises can bring about a greater feeling of positive feelings, according to researchers from the University of Miami and the University of California, Davis, who studied this process. Here's another one: a boost to your immune system. Now that's pretty inexpensive medicine, wouldn't you say? That the IgA antibody, which serves as the first line of defense against pathogens, increases in the body when you're grateful. That's all it takes, is to go say thank you to Cerny. It's like a shot, right? It's a really good deal. And then finally, emotional compound interest. The accumulated effect of sustained appreciation and gratitude is that these feelings and this coherence that we're talking about are easier to recreate with continued practice. This is because experiencing an emotion reinforces the neural pathways of that emotion as it excites the brain, heart, and nervous system. So you know how it is. The more you do it, the more you are it, right? So another deep breath. Close your eyes for just a minute. Think of one thing this morning you are really, really grateful for. Just one thing. And just feel your body kind of get in the groove. Thank you. Remember now, you can open your eyes if you want, or you can keep them closed for as long as you like. Remember Jesus and his disciples. Remember that Jesus gathered around him people who listened to him and who taught him. Jesus was really about feasting with other people, wasn't he? It's like a Thanksgiving thing going frequently. And then there was Arthur at the round table. Remember that? The knights at the round table. Arthur didn't go it alone. He did it in companionship. And then I was thinking about Judy Chicago. Anybody know who she is? Yes. Was it in the 70s, Joanna? That she created something called the dinner table, the dinner party, right? And it was a triangle of 3 tables of 39 women artists. And each place setting had a different plate, a different placemat, a different glass, a cup, because what she wanted to do was to have women artists who'd never been recognized to be recognized and to be famous. And it's in a permanent installation, in Philadelphia or someplace right now. Anyway, this beautiful idea of gathering your trusted people around you boosts us up, makes us feel good, and that's partly what some of us do for Thanksgiving. Gathering together is like an act of sharing our energy, sharing our love, sharing our time, sharing our bounty, sharing our interconnectedness with one another. It's not limited to Americans. It's not limited to Christians, and it's not limited to the affluent. Anybody can sit down at a table, at a round table, and be grateful with a group of people, right? Doesn't matter what you're eating, it's the practice of being together that matters. So gathering together, each year at Thanksgiving, we do, the rituals that you do, right? You probably have made your list of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it and what time you're going to do it, what time you have to get up in the morning in order to do it, and when will people come and who will be with you. So we put our bounty on display and we look at it and say, I'm so grateful. I'm so blessed. I'm so lucky for the fullness and the abundance in my life. So today I want to invite you to create with me a table. And this table, we put a table up here this morning as representation of this table, but your table is going to be unique to you. Not unlike the table of Jesus, not unlike the table of Arthur, and not unlike the table of the women in the Bible who got together for coffee clatches. But it just wasn't in the Bible. It just didn't make it in there. So that's why Judy Chicago had to make her table. So we have this round table, and each one of us today, is the one putting on a feast. Instead of aunts and uncles, instead of cousins and grandparents, instead of neighbors sitting down to your table or coming down to your basement where there's enough room for the whole crowd, the table is yours to host for whomever you want. How about that? You can invite anybody you want who is still living on the planet, or maybe somebody who has gone on. Your table of wisdom keepers, your table of mentors, your table of teachers, your table of role models who have blessed you at some point along the way. So I'm going to introduce you to my table for this morning, and it might stimulate some ideas for you. The guests will be different for you, but what matters not is who's here, but just that we engage in this practice of gratitude. So set the table in your mind and your heart and imagine the people that you want to invite to your special round table. They're here to listen. They're here to celebrate the self that you are, all the way that you've come from the places you've been.